Bienvenue dans Décryptage. Dans cette édition, nous recevons Gabriel Mbaga Obiang Lima, ministre des Mines et des Hydrocarbures de la Guinée équatoriale, en marge de la visite officielle du secrétaire général de l'Organisation des pays exportateurs de pétrole OPEP, Haitham Al-Gaïz, en Guinée équatoriale du 11 au 13 septembre 2022. Avec le ministre Gabriel Mbaga Obiang Lima, nous parlerons des perspectives de développement du marché du pétrole en Afrique, entre autres. Gabriel Mbaga Obiang Lima, ministre équato-guinéen des Mines et des Hydrocarbures, bienvenue sur Africa 24. La Guinée équatoriale a reçu la visite du secrétaire général de l'Organisation des pays exportateurs de pétrole, Haitham Al-Gaïz. Quel était l'intérêt de cette rencontre?
One of the key things about the new Secretary General is that he thought that it was very important the participation of the African members with OPEC. And one of the first things that he did let us know, it was the important part that many African members will play during his period. Clearly, he have decided to visit Equatorial Guinea for two main reasons. The first reason is because we are a member of OPEC. And the second reason is because at the same time we will have the presidency of OPEC from the year 2023. Clearly, the other reason is because we have been very much engaged with a lot of the matters that affect fossil fuel, primarily oil, and he thought that it was very important for him to one of the countries, member of OPEC, he participate. Also, it's a message to prove that to be a member of OPEC, you have nothing to do on size of a country, you have nothing to do on the amount of your production, and he proved that every single member have an equity decision power in our organization. And in this case, Equatorial Guinea will be in the presidency of 2023. So it's actually a very good start of what we're going to have to do for next year.
Lors de leur dernière réunion ministérielle le 5 septembre 2022, l'OPEP et ses alliés dont la Russie ont décidé de réduire leur production globale d'hydrocarbures de 100 000 barils par jour en octobre pour freiner la baisse des coûts du pétrole. Or, de nombreux pays se plaignent des coûts actuels élevés des matières premières énergétiques. Quelle appréciation faites-vous de cette décision?
Well, the first thing that needs to be known that OPEC does not control the price. What OPEC control is that we evaluate the data of the consumption and the supply. What we actually do is we monitor the amount of supply and the demand of the market. We do not control the price. If the price is going very high, it's not really because of OPEC. It had to do, you have a geopolitics, the Russian-Ukraine conflict, you have the withdrawal of 10 million barrels of OPEC, you have the slowdown of the economy in China.
La Guinée équatoriale a rejoint l'OPEP en 2017. Qu'est-ce que cette adhésion a éventuellement changé dans le secteur pétrolier et gazier du pays?
Well, what we have done is that we have become more aware of the importance of data. It's very important that you follow the data on production, data economics, but also it's very important that you don't just produce an asset or a commodity and you sell it as the market price. You do need to understand how the markets work. The other issue that really helps us is that we have an opportunity to work with other countries that have decade and decade working on oil and gas. So they were able to advise us in some of the things that we were doing good, but also some of the things that we needed to increase.
Vous vous êtes réunis à Douala au Cameroun du 8 au 9 septembre 2022 avec les ministres des Mines et des Hydrocarbures des pays d'Afrique centrale dans le cadre du Central Africa Business Energy Forum, CABEF. Quelles ont été les principales résolutions de cette rencontre?
Well, the main discussion at this event was to be able to discuss both the current situation of the industry, this is oil and gas mainly, but the second one, it was an initiative that we have started from Equatorial Guinea, but it is really a regional initiative. It's not just Equatorial Guinea. And this is the creation of what we call a Central Africa pipeline system. Now, how did that project arrive? They arrived with the clear sign that we have received by the developed countries in which they are proposing the policy of energy transition. They are talking that by 2030, they will be switching from renewable from fossil fuel to renewable. So they are already telling us that in 2030, they will not want our oil and gas. So one of the things that it came to us, it was, so what are we going to do in 2030? So one of the solutions is rather than sit and wait for 2020, we should focus on creating our own market. So whenever 2030 happens, we won't care because we will be supplying to our own market. Clearly, one needs to understand that doing a pipeline system is not just to export crude, it's not just for gasoline, it's not just for diesel, it's for gas, it's for other petrochemicals. The beauty of a pipeline system is that allow industrial zone. Because once you have an industrial zone, you can use the product for electricity, for petrochemics, for anything, and then the cost is extremely lower because this is already infrastructure in place.
Du 1er au 2 septembre 2022 à Dakar au Sénégal lors de la deuxième édition de la MSGBC Oil and Gas Power Conference and Exhibition, vous avez annoncé le lancement du Central African Pipeline System CAPS. Parlez-nous de cette initiative. Avez-vous déjà reçu des réponses favorables de partenaires financiers potentiels?
The cost is not really estimated because it all depends of the market. What each one of the country will do, it will present what's their market, what do they want. So a country like Cameroon can say, well, I want 800 megawatts. I want this amount of products. Another country can ask them. Once we know what we require in demand, that's when we can do the design. The other issue is that you need to separate the projects. This is, in reality, is going to be a PPA project, a public-private initiative project. So it's not going to be 100% by the government. What government will do is to design the project. From there, what we will do is that we will separate in chains. There is one part, this is the upstream. The upstream is already taken care. Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Congo, we already produce oil and gas. Second thing is the hubs. The hubs are the ports designated where they can receive the products. Third is the pipeline system. Pipeline system that the compressors are the other part. Usually you have many organizations like Exim Bank of China, Exim Bank of United States, Exim Bank of India, Turkey, the rest, or even Russia, that they can come and say, listen, we are willing to finance your entire pipeline, understanding that you will do the hubs. Now, the last one will be the receiving end product, and this is where the industrial zone and the key clients will need it to be doing. So the project is going to be divided in different areas, and it will grow and it will be funded at the same time, not 100% by the government, but also with the private investors that, again, they need to have clarity on how it works, what's the part for us to be successful. But like I said, the studies will be finished in mid next year. The ministers will receive it, and hopefully the next time we meet in Jamena, it will be to sign an agreement of cooperation.
Quel est l'horizon envisagé pour la mise en œuvre du CAPS?
The timeline is 2030. We only have 7 years. Now, when I was in Douala, I was very clear to all my colleague ministers. This is not a project that we can sit and wait. Because in 2030, the Europeans, the Americans, the Asians will do the energy transition. So that means that in 2030, we will have no market to send our hydrocarbons. So this is why it's very important that we do this in a period of 7 years. If we do not conclude this in 7 years, we will end up with a lot of oil, a lot of gas, but we have no place to send it. Why? Because the entire industry and the entire market worldwide have changed, and they do not want our hydrocarbons anymore.
Gabriel Mbaga Obiang Lima, ministre équato-guinéen des mines et des hydrocarbures, merci d'avoir répondu aux questions d'Africa 24.